Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
Hold on to your lug nuts. It's time for an overhaul.
Turn it up, son.
I'm your huckleberry. I don't give jobs, I hire men. You won't give me anything, and I won't give you anything.
Collision, sir.
Whoa, relax. We're not even moving.
There's no crying in baseball.
But there's crying at LSU, but I'll leave that alone. We are News New Mexico for Tuesday, January 10th, 2011. Jim Spence is here. I'm Michael Swickard. Rachel Pulaski is posting as we speak. Aaron Henry Diaz is here. He is a political commentator. You can go to newsnm.com. On our newsmaker line, we've got Marita Noon, and she's got, Energy Makes the Sunportgreat.org, right?
Yeah, just about.
Energy makes the Sunport. No, that isn't it. Energy makes America great. That's right. Oh, I always get close.
So, Marita, why are you at the airport?
AmericaGreat.org.
Oh, okay. So why are you at the airport, Marita?
Because I'm on my way to Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay. Finally landed a job, huh?
I'm going there for some meetings, and I'm going to some little parties as well, and I baked 2 cheesecakes last night that I have in my luggage that I'm taking to Washington, D.C.
I won't make it through the TSA, I'm telling you right now.
So I
did it last year.
I got a speculation here. Call me crazy. Okay. I'm out on the edge here a little bit. Somebody probably needs to rein me back in. But I'm guessing you are not going to a Mitt Romney fundraiser.
Well, I don't know that they're having any in Washington, D.C. this week, but if they were, you're probably right. I probably would not be attending that.
So what kind of problem do we have with Mitt?
Now, this is her column, just so everybody knows.
Exactly. You can find it on newsnm.com, Town Hall, bunch of places. But so tell us, the title of the column is what?
The title of the column is Mitt. We have a problem.
Now, why do we have a problem?
Well, we've got myriad problems with Mitt, but of course, the only one that I address with him are the energy issues, particularly his climate change positions that he held strictly. I mean, in his 2010 book, he clearly states, I believe this, and I believe that, and I believe the planet is getting warmer, and I believe that humans are causing it, and I believe, and he went on with what he believes. And then in June of 2011, just 6 months ago, he said the same thing.
All right, now, Marita, did he sit with...
through all this airport noise? It's a good thing I told you I was at the airport.
We can hear right through it fine. So now, did Mitt Romney sit with Nancy Pelosi and do a commercial for global warming?
No, and if Newt Gingrich had won coming out of Iowa, I probably would have written the article would have been, Newt, we have a problem.
Well, actually, it's almost...
It was easier that Mitt won because his views were easier for me to write on, easier to attack. But
well, who do you like?
Praised Mitt Romney following his June 2011 proclamation on climate change. He earned praise from Al Gore, and that right there should be death to him as a presidential candidate.
Oh, man, Al Gore is your best friend. I hate it.
I do get email from him. It says, Dear Marita, because I'm on some list, so I can keep track of what they're doing.
Yeah, that's always a good thing to do. So you said basically that Romney supported cap and trade. Say it ain't so, Marita.
Well, he did not support U.S. cap and trade. I have to give him a slight break on that there. He did not support U.S. cap and trade, but he did put Massachusetts into the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative known as RGGI, and he was one of the early shapers of that program. Now, it's true he did, before the program was actually launched, he did back Massachusetts out of that program, but he was one of the creators of that Regional Greenhouse Gas Program, which is an emissions trading plan.
Okay, so it's 11 minutes past the hour. We're talking to the Marita Noon, EnergyMakesAmericaGreat.org, and you have this line that I think is the core issue of all of the discussions about Mitt Romney. Your actions, and you mean Mitt Romney, as governor were consistent with your belief, like President Obama's, that humans are the problem and that government can fix it. Marita, that's it. That's the core issue right there. Humans are the problem.
Core issue right there. Humans are the problem and government can fix it. And that's what his actions as governor have shown, and I think we need to look at that history.
So now if Mitt Romney was running against Obama, well, who gets the Marita Noon vote?
Well, Mitt Romney would get the Marita Noon vote, so Marita Noon can't professionally state that. But, you know, the president's
nobody
noticed
it.
Total disaster. And if we continue heading in the direction that we are heading currently, we are going to look like that picture that of North Korea that was shown so frequently following Kim Jong-il's death. They showed that picture of the Korean Peninsula on the news slot.
At night. And so you can see...
And you could see South Korea, which was the free market,
they had the lights on.
Country, was bright.
Lights.
And North Korea had one light.
So, Marita, can you reconcile President Obama's policy of having the U.S. Navy preparing to... If they have to attack Iran to keep the straits of Hormuz open for oil tankers, but he has fought the Keystone XL pipeline, which would keep oil flowing into the United States of America?
Well, can I reconcile? Yes, it lines up perfectly with President Obama's ongoing energy plan, which is that he wants to demonize our traditional fossil fuels, and so by being able to draw attention to the fact that we get them from the Middle East and that we might have a war over this, in his mind, I believe, provides more reason why we need to have renewable fuels. Now, renewables are fine when they work, which includes being financially, when they're economic. But he wants...
Sounds like a scam.
Yeah, there's a lot of scams. We're in News New Mexico for Tuesday, January 10th. Jim Spence is here. I'm Michael Swickard. We have Aaron Henry Diaz in our studios talking with Marita Noon, EnergyMakesAmericaGreat.org. Go ahead. You got cut off by the hard break there.
Yeah, well, I have to sign for my luggage first, real quick here. I told them there was no line, so I said during the one commercial break I had time to get checked in.
So
let's talk about something while she's...
Yeah.
Well, you have a...
I'm here for you guys.
Oh, okay. Well, Marita, I posted a column on just basically all the bogus energy stuff rattling around, particularly about the givers and the takers in energy. And traditional energy, oil and gas, coal, are the givers. They pay taxes and they pay big taxes. And the solar companies and the wind companies are takers. All they get are cash subsidies. I don't think net that industry's paid a dime in taxes. So I posted this story. It showed up on nmpolitics.net, and one of my critics said that ExxonMobil, the most profitable company in America, pays lower tax rates than the average citizen. So lo and behold, we went to the Yahoo income sheet for ExxonMobil for the year ending in 2010, December 31st, and Exxon made $53 billion in profit and paid $22 billion in income taxes. There's a lot of misinformation out there about what traditional energy pays.
That may be just income taxes alone. I've not looked at that particular figure, but a couple years ago, in October, when ExxonMobil's third quarter numbers came out, and there was a lot of noise like that, I did similar research to what you just did and found that what ExxonMobil pays, truly, they paid more when you add in the fees and the overall taxes that they paid more than their profits. Now, that doesn't mean they didn't still have profits,
right?
But they pay an amazing contribution to the overall financial stability of this country. And if we were just to kick them in the knees and be done with them, we would be in a world of hurt. Where if we were to take, and the same thing with the Strait of Hormuz, we were talking about that before the break. through the Strait of Hormuz goes 20% roughly of the oil that we use in the world, our global oil supply. And if you were to take 20% of our global oil supply, if you're just to remove it, like by shutting the Strait of Hormuz, we would have a Carter-esque situation again. We would be at gas rationing and we would have gas lines. But if you were to remove 20% of the global wind or solar supply, nobody would even feel it.
Well, and nobody would notice.
Because you have to have backup fuel for wind and solar. They can't function on their own. So if you were to remove the wind and solar, there would not even be a blip.
And isn't there a cross-application for all of our New Mexico listeners, whether they're in Albuquerque or Carlsbad or Clayton or in Lordsburg, that basically these rates of income tax that these energy companies are truly kicking in would also go to our state budgets in greater amounts if we would make some common sense energy policies to encourage production?
Well, most certainly. In the state of New Mexico, nearly 50% of our state budget comes from the oil and gas industry, depending on how you slice the numbers, but it's a huge percentage. And so it makes sense to, as I said in the piece to Mitt Romney, is let's take the success we have in America. Let's take what we know how to do and that we do well and that we know provides jobs, and let's build on that success and encourage it. Now, this doesn't mean we can't encourage others, but let's take the things that we do well and build on that success.
Let's allow energy to make America great. .org. More.
The evil ones thought that we were weak. They didn't understand us.
That's it. The evil ones think we're the evil ones of the Republican Party. All right. Sorry about that. I couldn't help myself. We are News New Mexico. Jim Spencer. I'm Michael Swickard. We also have Aaron Henry Diaz in the studio, a political commentator. We got Marita Noon, EnergyMakesAmericaGreat.org. So, Marita, who gets 100% on your Good for America scale?
Well, there's not a perfect candidate out there.
Who gets closest?
Rick Perry is the strongest on energy.
Well, that's understandable. He's sitting on a mountain of it.
Yeah.
And he understands it. He's sitting on a mountain of it, but not only that, he understands what the potential that it has for this country.
Well, I remember Rick Perry listing 3 things he really liked about domestic energy, but then I can't remember the third thing that he said, Marita.
Yeah, I know. It's difficult. But we could tell him that energy makes America great.
You think he'd believe it?
I think he does believe it.
Okay.
I just think he sounds good in that band, the band Perry, he sounds real good.
So, Marita...
we just had Jerry Harden go over backwards in his chair.
All right, Marita.
I guess that wasn't right.
So when does your flight take off, just as we do a little cleanup here in the last segment here? So are you getting ready to board the plane?
I have not gone through security yet. My flight's at 8:10, but I do want Jerry Harden there as he picks himself up off his chair to know that, Jerry, I do have the 2 cheesecakes in my luggage, in my carry-on. Okay. Because Jerry commented on my Facebook page that I was making cheesecakes last night to take with me to Washington, D.C. And I did make them last night. I froze them. I have them in a Trader Joe's insulated bag inside my hard-sided carry-on.
I got news for you, Marita. Aaron Henry D is the only one in here who can afford to eat a slice of your cheesecake in the studio this morning. And now, Dr. Terry McMillan, who's warming up in the bullpen, he could probably handle it because he is a magnificent physical specimen. But Michael and Jerry and Jimmy Boy, we don't need any cheesecake.
That wouldn't stop me, though, from having it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I would hope so, because if I baked you a cheesecake, I have brought you cookies, haven't I?
You did bring us cookies, and we ate them. I hate to say it, which is, And
if I brought you cheesecake, you darn well better eat it.
I probably would.
Did you make me one? I said, no, I made you cookies. I left my husband cookies, but he wanted this cheesecake.
All right, so a research suggestion for you. I would like to know if net of all subsidies and taxpayer losses on things like Solyndra and all the other bankrupt solar companies that American taxpayers have thrown money at, has the alternative energy industry paid net even a cent of taxes, net of all subsidies, in the entire existence of alternative energy?
You know, I can't even imagine that data is even available. A request was done by a congressman back in August for all of the money that had been paid out to environmental groups in lawsuits, and the numbers were not readily available. They had to take a little piece here and a little piece here and try to put it all together. But if there's a researcher out there who's listening, email me, Marita@responsibleenergy.org, and we will work on it and write you a piece on it.
You know, with all the tremendous impact economically of these alternative energy sources, I would think they'd be floating in data to brag about the great economic contribution. Why would it be so hard to come up with this data?
Well, because I don't think the contributions are that great, and the other thing I'd like to know, I'm curious on as well, and I don't know that the data is available, but while I'm in Washington, D.C., I will sure as heck nose around with those people that I'll be working with, and maybe we can find out, are these green jobs, is there a net gain or a net loss? For example, through Solyndra, we lost more than 1,000 jobs. You look at all the ones that have gone out of business, and are they a net gain or a net loss?
Marita Noon, EnergyMakesAmericaGreat.org. Have a good flight.
Thanks, guys. It's fun. Appreciate it.